Yo,
Kev, what up, Kev?
what is good?
All right.
So how's this working? It
So it
can
just
it can
says
hear us?
It says it's recording you and me.
All right, bet.
Hey. Okay, cool. This might be the way to do it.
Yeah, I think this is gonna have to be. We're not that good looking, anyways. We shouldn't,
Well,
shouldn't be. We shouldn't be putting our faces out on the internet like that. You know what I mean?
that's true. No one wants to see us.
Well, yo, Epi 2, welcome to Don't Know Radio.
How's it
Vogel,
going?
dude, going well, man. Tell us a little bit about our sponsor. We were negotiating. We were with our agents last week in talks about negotiating a deal. I don't want to give away anything, but I'll just say this: stripes over checks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
That's
go with stripes over checks as well. I mean, yeah, Kev and I have had a really long last couple days, of contract negotiations. We didn't really get much of a Memorial Day weekend. We were up 2, 3 in the morning negotiating, and we finally came to terms with what we think is the best sponsor, and that is Stuck Clothing.
yes,
If you're
sir.
stuck in a clothing rut, you got to go see Stuck.
Yes, sir. Stuck. Find your nut.
Find your nut. I mean, I'm wearing their shorts and their shirt right now, and it is probably the most comfortable thing I've ever worn.
What's the website? Stuck.us.
I believe it's stuck.us. They also have a Facebook page, or you can also find them on our social media. We're going to start blasting out links to their sites. We want to thank them for sponsoring us, and we look forward to a long and successful partnership, Kev.
Yes, sir. I did just look on their website, and it says the website expired.
All right, so this is what we do
But
around
hey,
here.
no, we're still sponsored by Stuck.
We are still sponsored by Stuck. If you could see us, we were just decked out head to toe in Stuck clothing. We want to thank our boys, and we're gonna figure that out. There's a lot of things we don't know how to do, but that's one thing we do know how to do. So, Kev, it was Memorial Day weekend. I'm sure we did have a little free time aside from contact negotiations and just relentlessly pursuing our dreams of a successful podcast. But what was something you did this weekend, or in the past that you just really don't know how to do, but you probably should?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, and for our listeners here, me and Vokes are thinking just to have some loose framework of a show. We're gonna start off every episode with something we didn't know and something we do know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I get into my bid, really would like to give a shout out to my man Heath Whalen, pride of Crawfordsville, Indiana. Today is National Redhead Day. We gave him a shout out on the Twitter account. He's been a day one fan. If you're listening to this, Heath, just thank God. Thank God you're you. And it's a great day to be a redhead. So to answer your question, Vogel, something I learned this weekend is the rapper Gunna's real name. You would not believe this.
What is it?
You would truly not believe this. His name is Sergio Giovanni Kitchens,
That can't be real.
known professionally as Gunna.
Which that's funny to me because I feel like he's one of the most trap rappers out there.
Exactly. He's a central theme of his music is whipping the Pyrex in the kitchen,
Right.
cooking up crack. And I just feel like he missed out on just so many bars.
So many bars. I mean, maybe he doesn't want that to really get out there because if you're going to your plug and his name's Sergio Kitchens, people are automatically going to assume he's a narc.
Yeah, that's fair, dude. Oh my, but that's just regardless, it's a super elite name.
That is elite. The
Super
fact that
elite.
you can, yeah, the fact that you can be Sergio Kitchens and then transform yourself into Gunna is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Hey, well, what about you? What's something you've learned recently?
I've learned recently that I am just not even close to being equipped to become a parent.
Ooh, and why is that?
So I got two my sister has 2 kids and my other sister has one on the way, and they came up to visit this weekend, and it was a ton of fun. They're super cute, really fun to play with, and I got to play with my niece who's about 2. She's a little over 2 for about an hour. It was great. We were coloring on the sidewalk. We were messing around. I was reading her books, blah blah blah, and then after about an hour was over, I could tell she was getting bored. And have you ever just been with a kid and they look at you and you just have no idea what they want,
Right.
and they know that,
right.
so they just start like bawling, and I'm like, okay. I just try to come up with every solution, and she's just crying
right now.
No one. It's just me and her. I'm on an island. I feel like Darrell Revis.
Oh.
And she's just crying, and about 15 minutes later, my sister comes, and she's like, oh, she just wants her pacifier. And I'm like, what? Like the fact that she knows that. And so I just realized, there are a lot of people our age or younger than us or near our age who have kids. And I have so much respect for that because I know that I can't do that right now.
Exactly. I can't do many things.
Many things.
There's just a lot I can't do.
And that's
Certainly
like,
raising a
yeah.
kid is not on the list.
And that's like top tier of things. Like, yeah, if we don't know how to, send a fax or put wire in a lawn trimmer, that's one thing. But like, kids are a little bit different.
Yeah, but I
They
feel
don't
like
go away.
you can probably just ask Alexa. Like
Oh yeah,
if you had a question.
like Alexa, can you please change my baby's diaper? Something like that.
No, I think more so like Alexa, like what should my baby eat? Like
Oh
if it's like a
right.
Friday night, right? Like you and your spouse maybe thinking we're gonna eat out. Like, hey Alexa, what chain restaurants are healthy for a baby? Could it be
Okay.
an Applebee's night? Could it be a Red Robin night?
Yeah.
But anyways, getting a little. Whoa, no, sorry. I wanted to, when you're talking about that baby story, I wanted to talk about the pacifier.
Yeah.
An elite, like I don't know what you would call it, like a toy.
Yeah.
Like
Toy or
it,
yeah.
like I just like having a pacifier is like the baby equivalent of like rocking a Gucci belt. I feel like it
Hmm.
just never leaves their mouth. My little brother was like obsessed. Colin was obsessed with his pacifier. One time he canned it off the balcony in church,
Nice.
like
Nice.
30 feet, and that's when we knew he was going to be a D1 athlete.
Yeah.
But
That's how you do it.
but Vogel, speaking of my siblings, we
Oh,
got some beef, don't we?
I am upset, Kevin. We've been just trying to start this off, have a little fun, and trying to have fun with a lot of other, people and spread some joy around. But
Right, sad
Kevin,
times, right? Sad times.
yeah, people need a little pick me up. And so I was looking through our Twitter followers, and your brother Shane, shout out Shane, followed us right away.
Yeah,
And I
Josh.
know he's been collaborating with you a little bit, but then I looked and I scrolled down a little further and I saw two of your other siblings, Colin and Tara, both who I've spoken with and hung out with before a few times. There's no follow there.
You know what that is? That's fake love.
That is fake love.
That's when they smile on my face. Whole time they're trying to take my place.
The whole time.
The whole time they're trying
They
to take
might
my
be
place.
they might be
You know what? This is like Kim Jong Un faking his death to expose the traitors in his circle.
right.
This is if anything, I know who I can trust and who I can now. So
Yeah, it's clear to me.
yeah, life goes on. But
Yeah, and so that hurt a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, and I also realized my own sisters don't really use Twitter, but they have Twitter accounts, and so there's 4 of our siblings right there who don't follow us, and that hurts.
that hurts. We have a
That
terrible
hurts.
percentage.
A terrible percentage. So we'll work on that. Our Twitter handle is at DKRadio11. Same with Gmail, DKRadio11@gmail.com. But Kev, we'll go on a little bit of a lighter note here. What's something that you figured out recently how to do?
No. See. So I recently figured out what Gunna's real name is.
Oh, that's my fault.
I have something I discovered. I don't know how it's a little bit of a cop out, but it's like a suspicion, right?
Okay.
So
Let's hear it.
it's like I don't know. Like perhaps this could be happening. Um, last week we revealed some insider info that the state of Wyoming was in fact real. And this kind of goes along those themes. So Kanye West is building a massive $14 million ranch in Cody, Wyoming, which is up north, kind of by Yellowstone, I believe. Or
Okay.
I'm not, at least northern. I don't know if it's close to Yellowstone. He is just flexing hard as ever in this pic. I'm on this People magazine article. But so listen to this. 4,000 acres, like I said. One sec. He has called the space Yeezy Campus. The property has formerly been named West Lake Ranch, changed from the previous owner's Monster Lake Ranch, but West also refers to it as Yeezy Campus, referencing his fashion brand. West also called the ranch a paradigm shift for humanity and noted that he sees the space as a form of alternative medicine for himself. I'm trying out a different cure than medication, he said. Fresh air, fun, inspiration, space. I love that, but here's my question for you, Vogel. Is Kanye West starting a cult?
Everything that you just said really sounds like it.
I mean,
And
it's hard. It's hard to
It's
look at
hard
that. It's hard to look at that and not think he's trying to start a cult.
because think about how many religious Kanye West fans there are, and how many people, if given the opportunity, what's it called again? Yeezy World?
Yeezy Campus, I think.
Yeezy Campus. How many people? There's at least 1,000 people in the United States right now who would drop everything they're doing and go to live on Yeezy Campus. That's a cult.
Right. Right. Dude, it's gonna be some Waco stuff. They're just gonna have like Yeezy rocket launchers or something, you know, just be like up in the mountains. Man, you seen Waco, by the way, that Netflix show?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I need to.
Bro, great show. It's like 6
Yeah.
episodes. It will make you like super hate like the government and people of authority just because they botched the situation so bad. But it's fascinating that it actually happened, you know. And the girl from Ruth from Ozarks, who's actually an IU grad, is in it.
Okay, I didn't know she was an IU grad.
Yeah, I found that out. I guess she graduated from IU in 2016. I read that recently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
see, I think one reason I don't want to watch that is because I've been to Waco before twice, and it is just like I just don't like it.
yeah, just bad vibes.
Bad vibes. I mean, they have like two notable facts about them, and that's Chip and Joanna Gaines, which I mean that's kind of cool, and then Waco, like the Netflix show. So I need to get on that, but I think I just need a little bit more persuading.
Absolutely, I get that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what about you? Is there something you don't know? Do know?
So, I mean, I'm kind of on the same theme here. I kind of have a bit of a one-track mind, and I was a little bit blown away this weekend about how unprepared I am to be a parent. But I have actually, after a lot of self-reflection amidst these contract negotiations and, trying to live my life, is that I have actually figured out how to be a parent.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. So what my solution I've come up with is that I have to marry, or someone in my position just has to marry someone who they just have, the ultimate trump card over. And I'll explain that by saying, let's say my spouse has done something in her past or has a fact about her that she doesn't want anyone to know about.
Sure.
And so whenever she asks me to do something parent related, like, hey, change my baby's diaper, I say no, because if I do, then I'm going to reveal this about you.
Yeah, I got you. A little manipulative, and then she's not going to lie.
Yes. So she always is just living in fear. And then if she tries to call my bluff, then at her family gatherings, I start dropping some subtle hints, maybe to like her second cousin or her grandmother. And then I think that'll just work. I think that'll be the success to a long and healthy relationship, and also raise, really quality kids.
I don't know about that one, Bogues. I don't know. I think this might be why you're single.
Well, just let that sink in, and we'll see. But yeah, that could be it.
But no, genuine question here, Bogle. Well, how tall are you?
With shoes on, I'm 6'4", so at least 6'4".
6'4". Can you repeat that one more time for the microphone?
Hold on, let me get closer.
Yeah, please do.
6'4".
He is 6'4", ladies and gentlemen. How do you not have a girlfriend?
Well, I've bounced around a little bit. I lived in Texas the past 2 years. Yeah.
Go on.
All right. So, I mean, yes, some have called me that before, but we'll move on. I mean, I think one reason is because since I've been home from coronavirus, people have tried to send me up on probably about 1,000 blind dates, and every single one of them, the girl they try to push me on just sounds like the worst person of all time.
Yeah.
Like one I got the other week was like, oh yeah, she just got out of jail. It was only her first stint. She was only there for about 6 months, and now she's really got her life on track. I'm like, okay, first of all, don't lead with that.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that's one reason, and also, I just think, I'm just kind of chilling, Kev. I got to get a job. I got to feel a little bit more settled, before I settle down. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay, no, that's good. What do they say? They say you got to love yourself before you can love someone else.
That's right. I mean, I do love myself, and that might be a little bit of the problem too, is that I might love myself a little bit too much. I appreciate that, Kev. No so problem, are you. Man. No Very problem. Cute. Yeah. So, I mean, Kev, how has your experience been dating, during the coronavirus? And I know you've got something, some sort of boyfriend concept you want to talk about. Why don't we hear a little bit more about that? Yeah.
So, I've been with my wonderful girlfriend, Jenna, for, almost 3 years. So things are going great with her. Yep. But this is just something, this is sort of an insight I uncovered a few months ago. You remember concerts?
What's that?
When people would go and stand around at a stage and listen to music.
Oh, yeah, that was a while
Right,
ago,
right,
though. That was
right.
like,
So like this was
yeah.
back in February, pre-Ronies, and Yoshi
Oh,
wanted to. My roommate Yoshi, for those who don't know, wanted to go see this DJ Jaws. So I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. It was like a Tuesday night, and I'm looking around the crowd, and I mean this as platonically, as objectively as possible, but there were a lot of attractive girls with just some absolute scrub looking dudes. Like
mm-hmm.
they're dancing, they're passing the jewel around, and I was like, what is this? And and that's when it all clicked for me, Vogel. That's when I realized the matrix we are in. You
Mm.
can take the blue pill. You go to college, right? You maybe move to a big city, maybe you get your master's. You work a job, you go on Hinge dates, Tumblr, Bumble, Tumblr. Did I say it?
Mm-hmm.
Tinder. you know,
I mean, you could go
yeah,
on
you could go
Tumblr. I'm
on
not sure if that's
Tumblr.
the best
Yeah,
way, but
yeah. So you do all that. You date, you get married. You move to a suburb, have 3 kids. You grow old together. Get moved to a nursing
sweet, yeah.
home. Die of coronavirus. JK. And then
Wow.
sorry, that was really insensitive.
Keep going. I'm
Okay,
listening.
so that's the blue pill. So
Okay.
that's the narrow. That's the path that society has laid out for you. And the red pill
Okay.
is just being a rave boyfriend or a rave girlfriend. You just get into like bass nectar, this EDM crowd. You find a spouse, a significant other, and you spend your life going to festivals and just having fun. And I think those people have truly broken the matrix. So that's just some food for thought.
So I like that. I love that analogy because I feel like we see that every day. At least we did, before we were allowed to leave the house. But I mean, so is there no other option? Could you maybe say that there's perhaps a green pill? Is there any sort of situation where you could fit into a third category, or do you really think it's just two separate
No,
categories?
absolutely. There can be as many colors as you want. No two people are the same, but I just think that paradigm really represents something, that I'm just seeing out here. Like just like screw it, fuck them. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. So I just had a
Okay.
breakthrough at that Jaw show. Wanted to share. That's perhaps why you might be still single, Vogel. I think you need a never mind. We don't do concerts anymore. Oh fuck,
Maybe in like
dude. That
2022.
okay? My whole thesis, my whole hypothesis just crumbled because we're never gonna have concerts again.
Well, yeah. You.
All right,
Well, I
all
mean,
right.
so no, that's a good hypothesis, though. I mean, think about it. I think when maybe concerts are a thing again, whenever that may be, it could be by maybe next year, maybe when we're 80. I think we'll see a huge resurgence of rave boyfriends and girlfriends, maybe more than we have seen in the past.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. People are looking to get cuffed up. You know what I mean? They're
No,
coming.
absolutely.
They're coming out of quarantine, super hungry. They've been putting in the slight work on the dating apps for the last 2 months.
Yep. A lot of Zoom dates.
Geez, I know this sounds horrible, but like I couldn't imagine like making small talk with someone on Hinge for like 2 months and not being able to meet them in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Oh, I totally
That
agree. And
sounds
to go off
horrible.
of that, can you imagine if let's say you are single as myself, but say you're going on Hinge dates or you're going on a date, like a blind date, hopefully with a girl who hasn't been in jail for the last 6 months. But I mean, imagine staying 6 feet away, and maybe you go on like 7 dates, and you have to be 6 feet away from the other person the entire time. Like, how terrible would that be? You can't
No,
hug them.
terrible, terrible. But the good news for you, Vogel, is that you can constantly remind the person you're on a date with that if you stood between them, it would be at least 6 feet because they're 6'4". You know what I mean? Like
Right. So if I just laid down on the ground, I think I can make money off
exactly.
that,
Like for
actually.
me, like I'm 5'11". I'm an honest 5'11". everyone says, "Oh no, you're just 5'10", you're rounding up." Like, no, I'm an honest 5'11". If I was 6 foot, I would say it, but I'm not. You know, I'm man enough to admit it.
Right. That's
I'm man enough to admit it. I am not a good model for social distancing, but you are.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think, I do need to make some money coming up. So if there are any people or couples out there who need someone to really make sure you're reinforcing social distancing, I'll come along.
Absolutely.
I'll come along. I'll wear a mask. And let me lay down in front of you guys.
Even better, just hold out your wingspan, because your wingspan is supposed to be exactly like your wingspan is how tall you are, right?
Oh, I think my wingspan is definitely longer than I am. I think I'm probably, I've got freakishly long arms, so you can even be close to 7 feet away. That's just really making sure you're doing your part. And, this is an interesting thing that I've thought about, Kev. And, a pet peeve of mine, I don't know really how I thought about this, but this has got me thinking about like just all the places I can't go right now. And, I understand that, I'm not trying to rush everything back. Things have got to take time, whatever. Do your part. And then I worked out today, P90X. I'm not really doing a very good job. It's really difficult. Thank you. I appreciate that. But the reason I brought that up is because I was thinking all the morning this morning about how I can't go to a gym and how I'm actually really happy about that.
Right.
Because I think one of my biggest pet peeves, I'm not sure how we got on this, how we're going to transition. So I apologize to all of our listeners. But not really, because I think this is really poignant or whatever, however you say it, is my biggest pet peeve is guys who wear hats to the gym.
Oh my gosh. Are you in witness protection? Like, come on now. Right.
Right. I get, okay, maybe there's a reason why you have to wear a hat. Maybe there's some sort of medical condition. Maybe you got a really bad haircut. But your bad haircut is going to grow back. There's no reason why you have to wear the same hat to the gym every day for the rest of your life. That's just, what's the hat doing?
Sweat hat.
It's just a sweat hat. And then I've seen people like work out, go play basketball in the hat, and then like shower in the gym and then put the hat back on.
Incredible.
So, I mean, that there's a lot of things, that it sucks not being able to go out and do stuff right now. But there's also a lot of stuff that I really am not sad to be missing.
Exactly. I do have a pet peeve I'd like to get into. I have two, actually, if that's okay. My first is because I went grocery shopping earlier today, and something I just want to address is grocery store shame. Because I think it's a super real thing that, you ever feel self-conscious when, I'm sure down in TCU you traveled a lot with the team, so you probably didn't shop for groceries as often, but, feel a little self-conscious when you put like, your pizza Lunchables, your fruit gushers, your fruit roll-ups, your frozen pizzas. And I think like, do you think people just think, fuck this kid? Like, I think they might actually hate me, so I just think, yeah, it's they should do something about that. That's all.
No. Oh, I completely agree. I mean, this past weekend was Memorial Day. And so Friday I was at the store buying alcohol. And it really was, it wasn't that much. There was a few of us at the house. I had a case of beer and some whiskey. And the guy at the checkout counter goes, "Are you sure you need all that?"
Like, buddy, it's for the troops.
Okay. There's just so many issues with that comment. And I was genuinely upset for an entire day. Just don't butt your nose into my life.
Fuck right off, guy. Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, Kev, I like your idea about that. I mean, is there a certain item that when you put it in your cart, you maybe try to hide it underneath something, or is it just in general?
My real answer, I'm not liable to say in case my mom listens to this, because she said she listened to episode 1, and that kind of like shook me, because my parents are pretty old school. Like, they've never been on social media, so it's not their thing, and so I've never had to worry about like something I'm saying on the internet, like my mom seeing it. I'm like, oh, Mom, you have no idea, but but extraordinary times we're living in, Wait, what were we just talking about? I lost my train of thought.
But the grocery store. Can I chime in real quick? And I would say I'm the opposite. Like I've always been very worried about what I put on social media. Like, I feel like I don't really advise people to do this, but if you really want to, like, you can go back on my Twitter or Facebook, etc. And there's really probably nothing controversial. And so doing this podcast is a little bit out of the ordinary for me. And like, I love to talk, but putting my ideas out into the world, really, I don't do often. So I appreciate you, Kev, giving me the
You too.
opportunity
I
to do
appreciate
that.
you as well, man. This is fun to make. But
Aw,
before we get too
yeah,
happy, I got one more thing I got to address. And we're
please.
talking pet peeves, right?
Yes.
People who put a 13.1 sticker on the back of their car. Like
Please
congrats,
keep going.
you ran half a marathon. You're 50% done. Like, I just, like, I hate to sound harsh. People have goals for themselves, but at least it's not as brutal as the guy who has a sticker that says 0.0. I mean, which do you think is a tougher scene? Having the half marathon sticker or the 0.0? Because I just feel like if you have the zero sticker, it's just like this guy, like, cool, like that's so funny, dude. Like you're so quirky,
Yeah.
you're so different. You're like the male Zoe Deschanel, you know what I mean? Like, cool, you didn't run.
Right. And like, congrats. But I totally agree. I think the guy or the girl who puts the 0.0 on the car, you had to go out of your way to buy that, take it out of the package and put it on. And I mean, yeah, I don't really like the 13.1 or the 26.2. Like, I don't get why you feel the need to advertise that. Like, okay, yeah, senior year in high school, I averaged 17 points a game. Do you see a 17.0 on the back of my car? No.
Right.
You don't.
Exactly. Do you just Michael Froge was averaging 14 a game sophomore year? Does he have the 14 on his car? He should.
And is it in every girl's DMs around? Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Maybe. So,
but one more note to say though, because I felt like I've made fun of, or not made fun of. I've said I'm angry at a big group of people, but let this be true. The only people worse than those who have a 0.0 or a 13.1 sticker are people who actually run marathons
for fun.
I think that's an absolutely psycho move. And I was like a collegiate cross country and track runner at one point.
And a state champion in high school.
Did I ever tell you I won state in high school?
Yeah, I've heard a few times.
It was so sick.
Yeah, it was so sick. High school was so sick.
It was the best.
But yeah, this is coming from a guy who was like a very accomplished runner.
Right. Like, you know what happened to the first person who ever did a marathon?
They died.
He died. Pheidippides.
Literally.
Yeah, he was either he was running from the Battle of Marathon to Athens or Athens to the Battle. I'm sure it was Battle Marathons to Athens. He was delivering
a messenger,
delivering news of the victory, and he collapsed and died.
And
people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna train. Like, I'm gonna focus like all of my time and energy so I can be miserable for 4 hours." And now it's not even cool, because so many people do it. It's just like, I don't know. But moral of the story is that Pheidippides is really the OG Paul Revere.
Wow, what an analogy.
Pheidippides ran so Paul Revere could ride. Tweet that right now.
I feel like, can you tweet that right now?
We'll get it tweeted out from our account later.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. That's one of the best analogies I've ever heard. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I feel like he doesn't get nearly as much credit as he deserves. I mean, he ran that far before it was popular.
Exactly.
He was a trendsetter.
Yeah, he didn't have no one pacing him. He didn't have any water. He probably didn't even have shoes.
No, probably not.
But here's the thing: do you think Pheidippides wanted to? he was like, General, when do I get to run 26 miles back to the city? And they're like, no, son, no.
Do you think
he was probably a line? Shit, I'm gonna die doing this mission, aren't I?
Yeah, why was I born into such a low social class that in this thousands of years ago era that I was forced to do this?
Nah, dude, but I think warriors had clout back in ancient Greece.
No, they did. I think they were modern day athletes.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I mean,
who do you think would win in a game of 5-on-5? Say ancient Greece. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good with the years, but maybe say 800, year 800, like a team of elite, Greek athletes
Right.
or the late 80s Celtics that they showed in the MJ doc.
I think if we're going off of like the NBA rules from maybe the 80s and 90s, where it was basically like the bad boy Pistons, I definitely think it would be the team of ancient Greeks, because those guys were definitely way stronger and way tougher.
Dude, they were savages. Like
Like,
I don't think it wasn't the Greeks. It was a Native American tribe, I believe, or maybe one of like the Aztecs, like someone from Central America, Mexico area. But I remember reading about it in school, and they would play this game, and it was like what lacrosse originated from, I think. And then the losing team got like sacrificed to the gods,
yeah,
or maybe it was the winning team. I don't know, but they were just so cool with dying back then.
so
They were,
cool.
they were like imagine like playing a game of basketball, and it's just like you're gonna get the top blown off if you don't win.
Yeah, you're definitely shooting. Your shooting percentage automatically goes down 20% if that's the case.
Oh my lord!
And I mean, that's why I hate the analogy of like, I mean, football is a little different because you're actually like colliding with one another. But when in sports, in any sport, male or female, when they say, "Oh, this is a war out there. We've got to be ready to go to war," you absolutely do not have to, because after the game is over, you can go home.
Right.
Like in war, if you don't win, you die.
You die. Exactly.
Or you're a prisoner of war. Like, that's why I hate, oh yeah, we got to be ready to go to war, gentlemen. Yeah. Like, coach, no, we don't.
Yeah, it's like, coach, I'm not going to war. I'm going to a cross country meet. You know,
right? Like I'm gonna go out there and try my absolute best. But if you want me to kill the person next to me, I'm probably gonna say no. Probably. It depends on who it is.
Oh man. Wait, well, we're on the topic of sports. What'd you think of the golf thing yesterday?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I really didn't watch it live, if we're being honest, because I didn't have Wi-Fi where I was. So I was following it on my phone, and I was getting all the updates. So I mean, I loved it. I liked how they donated, what was it, $20 million to coronavirus relief. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and a good use of their platform.
For
but
sure.
I can honestly say my favorite thing ever is watching Peyton Manning beat Tom Brady at anything.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I mean, Tom Brady.
You're an Indy kid. You're a Colts fan. I'm a Bears fan, but that's got to feel great for you. I can only imagine.
Yeah. I'd just like to say one thing, that the Colts did win the Super Bowl in 2006. So I'm sorry about that, but, go Colts.
It's all right. I'm not even mad about it. Never was.
Yeah, you did have Rex Grossman was your quarterback.
Exactly.
No
Colts were just straight up the better team.
Yeah, we were. That was like pre-Bob Sanders torn bicep.
Yeah.
So that's when we were clicking. But no, yeah, I thought it was really cool. I mean, I thought it was a good event. I wonder if we'll start to see more crossovers like that coming up, this summer, because I feel like that was really successful. So, I mean, maybe we'll get some sort of other, sport where you can socially distance, or maybe not even socially distance if things get back to normal. But, I was a huge fan. What'd you think?
Right. I had two thoughts on the matter. One, I think the reason that Tom Brady didn't win is because there weren't any 5'10" white, like slippery wide receivers to kind of just like carry the golf ball an extra 10 yards after he hit it, because like essentially like Tom Brady at 42, like his game translated to the golf course is essentially him hitting, like I said, like a 10-foot putt, and then Julian Edelman just picks up the ball and starts running. And then the defenses are like, oh, wait, we forgot how to tackle. And yeah, but anyways.
Yeah.
But also my other thought was that, although I'm glad that, they donate all that money for coronavirus relief, but like when they do like charity, like celebrity sporting events, I feel like it's almost kind of like cruel. They're like if someone's, they do these charity events, like, yeah, if he gets a birdie on this hole, like, we're going to donate $2 million to the school district. But if he doesn't, you guys are fucked. They do stuff like that at basketball. I think they did it for the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game. They did that, where like each team represented like I think it was just a group of kids from a neighborhood. And it's just like, you got the money to give both of them money.
Yeah. Why are we just
like, you're just going to tear half the people's hearts out?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm sorry Kyle Lowry missed that jumper 30 seconds left, but you're not going to have a new basketball court at school. Like, sorry.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry. But I agree. I think it's a little different for the All-Star game, because like those are professionals doing their sport, but like Tom Brady golfing and Peyton Manning golfing, they're not golfers.
Oh, for sure. Exactly.
You can't. So I totally agree. I mean, I think it's a little bit cruel. And also, I mean, I hate Tom Brady because he's just destroyed the Colts for so many years. And I loved two things. I loved him losing, but I also loved him ripping his pants.
Oh, yeah, I did see that briefly.
I mean, I get it. Like, ripped pants happen. I've ripped my pants before, but the fact that it was on national TV and he was bending over to pick up his putt was just unbelievable.
That's actually, I only saw the first 9 holes, and we went to dinner. So I mean, my attention wasn't too into it, but now that you say that, that's actually remarkable. That like, probably like, I don't know, Tom Brady's like America's Mr. Perfect, right? He
Yeah.
just like model person, like good looking, like 6 rings, whatever. And Buddy ripped his pants on national television.
And so people are just roasting him for something he probably had no control over.
Exactly. But like, cry me a river, like, oh,
Yeah, sorry, Tom.
poor Tom Brady.
No.
Speaking of Tom, do you see the results of our Twitter poll?
Yes, I was shocked, honestly, that didn't happen. I mean, I guess he didn't win. So, Kev, why don't you go ahead and explain the Twitter poll a little bit, just so for people who really don't know what the poll was.
Yeah, and I was just like probably like 4 White Claws deep, so like whatever I tweet on this account just can't be held liable. It doesn't reflect the views of. Anyways,
yeah, so, and I will say, just as a disclaimer, it's usually Kev tweeting.
you'll know when it's something ignorant, and you'll know I'm on my bullshit. But the tweet was, who will Tom Brady kiss first on the lips if he won? Like, imagine the scene. They raised $25 million. Tom Brady comes back and beats Peyton and Tiger. Is he going off to his supermodel wife, or is he going to his son? One, I think he has multiple sons. Or is he going to give that trophy a smooch?
And so I can read off the results, Kev, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So the trophy received 22% of the votes, which is a good guess. His wife received 3%. I think that's because I was the only one who did that, just so we would have a wife vote.
Wow.
And then his son did receive 75%. But Kev, I almost added a 4th column that I think America, I don't know if they would have liked to see it, but it would have just made headlines all over the world, is that if he would have kissed Phil Mickelson on the lips.
Damn.
Yeah.
Talk about breaking the internet. That would, but honestly, nothing surprises me anymore.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
And,
all bets are off. All bets are off.
All bets really are off. I mean, Corona really threw a loop and everything. And I mean, I want to keep talking about sports here in a second, but I just remembered one thing when you were talking about Sergio Kitchens, a.k.a. Gunna. Mm-hmm. The one rapper name that I wanted to talk about was Takeoff, a member of Migos, the hip-hop trio.
True.
Do you know what his first name is, Kev?
No. Takeoff?
Actually, that would be sick. But no, his first name is spelled Kirshnik, Kirshnik. And I think, and when I read that, it's kind of like the sound that, like, if you had a sword in a sheath.
Yes.
And you were fighting, kind of maybe if we were in ancient Greece.
Sir, you like,
and it's like Kirshnik.
Yeah, like.
Do you think that his mom was in the hospital and she heard like one of the doctors pull out the sword to cut the cord, and she was like, "Oh, that's sick."
Yeah, like maybe like 300 was on the TV.
Right, and she's like, "Oh, this is my favorite movie."
Because like my mom always tells me, like, when she was in labor, she was like watching episodes of ER. It's like maybe they were just doing like a movie night on FX, and it was something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, that could have been.
Who knows?
That could have been it. I mean, I think that's a great name. That's no disrespect to him or his mother. I mean, I think that's just very unique. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there so that was known into the world. But yeah, Kev, going back to sports a little bit, what's the one sport that you just really want to come back, that you like can't live without it?
Well, it was definitely March Madness, but with that ship has absolutely sailed. There's no going back, and if we get NBA playoffs, that's priority number 1. But like, I'm trying not to think about it. Like they didn't do March Madness, and like, it's just so tough.
Yeah, so tough. No, that is tough. I mean, I agree. March Madness was difficult. I mean, that was hard. But I think the NBA playoffs would be cool if it came back. And I think they were saying maybe mid to late July, and they were going to do it at the Worldwide of Sports down in Orlando. And I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good idea if you can get all those guys and coaches and trainers, etc., down there.
Like half those players are going to be like smoking up in the hotel room too after the games. Like that should be wild.
Like, is the drug test policy just thrown out the window?
They stopped test. Weed's not a criminal offense.
Oh, it's not banned
in the NBA. It's no longer. I'm not sure what it is. It's like scheduled differently in the NBA. I think they just don't test for it.
Yeah, they just don't test for it. So to follow up on that, what NBA player do you think was most excited about that? Like, is there one player that comes in your mind?
I think he might have been retired by then, but Joakim Noah.
Oh,
dude, Buddy was Bob Marley 2.0. He just had that vibe.
Was he
and
really?
He went to Florida too. That was a good Florida team back in the day.
They won didn't they win the national championship 2 years in a row in 05,
Billy Donovan was coaching.
Al Horford?
Really? He was on the team. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So that's crazy. I didn't know the NBA could do that.
I mean, you can fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
No, I believe you, but I mean, yeah, so it'd be nice to get sports back, but I feel like, we're staying entertained. This podcast is definitely helping me be creative and just kind of mess around with Kev, so it's been a lot of fun. So, make sure you're following our Twitter because that's where we're pretty much putting everything out, DK Radio 11. And then we're also going to start putting our stuff on SoundCloud and YouTube like we've been doing, and then also on Anchor FM, which is going to help us put it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
yes sir. Yes sir. We're coming straight to your iPhone, and then straight to your iPhone. Please hit us with retweets when you can. Show us some love, engage in the content. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And I did guarantee last week that we'd have a sponsor, and so we came through on that. Kevin and I did, and we want to appreciate Stuck once again. And you're probably going to start hearing more sponsors on our content. Because, it'd be nice to make a little bread off this because Kevin and I both don't have a job.
Hey, if you got a local business you want to promote, shout us out.
Shout us out. And then, we're pretty easy to work with. And I've already had a couple of people say like, oh, you're going to do sponsors on your podcast? Like that's selling out. And my response is
exactly.
Yeah, it's exactly what we're doing. Like you say that like it's a bad thing, but no.
Well, so basically us starting a podcast is the equivalent of being like a hot girl on Instagram. We're just trying to show the world what's appealing about us, and it's like we're kind of funny. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I feel like we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Like, we both like went to college, which is pretty sick. I mean, shout out to that. But also, yeah, we've got some good stuff to say. I would say Kev's definitely like the one who brings the best content. And, I'm more of just the guy who's here listening to Kevin and laughing the whole time, which is a lot of fun.
Sweetest voice, though. Like,
I appreciate that.
If I could have a CD-ROM with bedtime stories read by David Vogel, I would play that for my son Pierce before he went to bed.
Be careful what you wish for because I've got a lot of time and a lot of blank CDs that I just found when I cleaned out my room. So that's going to happen. And also, speaking of your son Pierce, I know that last week we said we were going to have some guests, but due to these long contract negotiations and the fact that, I didn't have Wi-Fi for the last 4 days that really kind of pushed it back. And so next week we'll probably have either Gitter or Pierce on the show.
Well, my boy Al's going to get in rotation too. Absolute spark plug.
Yes. Oh, I love Al. Yeah, Al's on. We got to get Archie on
we will.
too.
We will. We're gonna get all the boys on. It's gonna be great. Also, I would just you bringing up the blank CD thing. I thought of like something like a fun challenge we could set for next episode. Make like a 12 to 15 song playlist of songs that are repressed in your memory. Like
when you say repressed,
like just like
what does that mean?
Remember the days you used to like burn CDs? Just classic. Okay. I know you love a good mid 2000s pop song.
Oh, come on now. You guys used to call me Mr. Top 40 and you thought that was an insult, but there's a reason those songs are top 40.
How about we burn a CD for each other? But we don't actually have to burn it. We'll just organize a playlist.
Like a Spotify playlist for each other.
Exactly.
And then so I'll make it for you, you'll make it for me, and then you say you'll go first and you'll read the playlist that I made for you on the air.
Exactly. Perfect.
That's perfect. That's a great idea.
One rule. Max of 2 Chainsmokers songs.
Oh, for you
for
or
both
for me?
Of us. No more than 2. I know it's tempting.
It is tempting. Okay. And I say only one Black Bear song.
I say no Black Bear.
Oh, okay. That's too much. No, actually, okay. No, we can go no Black Bear.
You know what I was thinking? If we keep playing his song as our intro, eventually his like camp is gonna reach out to us and be like, that's like copyright infringement, and maybe we'll get like a direct chance to like communicate a message to Black Bear.
That's honestly kind of, I thought about that the other day, but I forgot about it until you just said that now. Like if we get in trouble for copyright infringement or for, using his creative property, that's like the only person that I'm okay with getting in trouble with. Is Mr. Bear.
The things I would do for Mr. Bear are mountains and valleys. I would, climb Mount Everest. Like,
yeah. You know how you said earlier that Yeezy is doing Kanye West is doing the cold thing?
Like if Bear did that, I would go.
I don't care where it is. It could be Alaska, but like not the cool parts of Alaska, like where it's really cold and no one lives.
I mean, that'd be kind of cheap.
I would do it
in Alaska, but like,
but with Black Bear.
Yeah, it'd be all right. It'd be all right.
Come on, maybe not forever. But yeah, so I mean,
it's what though, a little Black Bear history. You know how he like did a hip hop writing camp with Neo. So like Neo like passed the torch to Black Bear. So I think it's only natural for Black Bear to pass the torch to us.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm in that.
I'm in. I mean, my songs are gonna suck, but I will produce the hell out of it.
No, I mean, so we're just gonna write. We're just gonna write songs.
We can be ghostwriters.
Just write, do lyrics and whatnot.
I think that's a pretty lucrative step for us, Kev. I mean, once this podcast takes off in maybe 2 to 8 months, I think that could be our next move. I mean, once we start making about, I don't know, what is it, 100 an episode, 100K an episode? I think
that's what Adidas wants. But I mean, that just got me thinking. Like, there obviously are songwriters, right? There's people who like probably live out in LA. I think Lil Aaron. He's from Goshen, Indiana. He's like, I don't know. He's in a few Black Bear songs. Like Like he writes for people. So I'm just thinking, like, if you're a writer in the music industry, like, how valuable can a lyric be? Like, they're not saying anything that groundbreaking.
No, I feel like it's a lot of recycled stuff. Not that I could do it. I can't do it. That's not how my brain works. But I feel like a lot of the songs are just about the same stuff, just over and over.
Like, what's the number one? Doja Cat. That's the number one song right now. Say So.
Wait, I think Say So is the song. I think Doja Cat is the artist. That's a great question. Doesn't she do it? Oh, she might have. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, I'm in a bit of a music rut right now, to be honest. Like, without not being with you guys and not like being in the real world, I don't really find new music right now, which is tragic.
Dude, I'll share. I'll share any music I got with you. Have you heard the new Black Bear song? It's You's featured in it.
Say that again.
The new Black Bear feature.
Oh yeah, I like it.
What's it called? Dead and Over.
I think
I got a classic for you to look up. Okay, when I was road tripping to Wyoming with my brother, we played it. This is definitely a song.
Fake news.
I'm gonna reserve this song on my playlist, but go peep it. It's called "The District Sleeps Alone Tonight" by the Postal Service. It's such a bop.
The Postal Service? The District
Sleeps Alone Tonight.
All right, I'll add it to my playlist.
It's like the first song on their album. It's from like 2003.
Okay, I'm about that. All right, Kev. I mean, do you have anything else? I mean, I love the playlist idea. Feel free, if you're listening, to get creative, send us some stuff, and you can join in on the contest. But anything else you want to leave the people with, before we conclude?
I'm gonna leave the people with this lyric from Doja Cat. Again, if she's been canceled, I apologize. But we're talking song lyrics. Day to night to morning, keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so. Like, do you think like someone got paid like $10,000 to write that?
I would say. I mean, that song is super popular. I've heard it a lot. I mean, so I would say it's more than 10.
Black Bear. You know how him and Mike Posner wrote "Boyfriend" for Justin Bieber? He has that lyric.
Yeah.
He's like, Justin Bieber made me about $1 million. But that song was.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess both songs are like #1 hits. So
I mean,
who knows?
I don't know. That's what I think about. Like Bieber, think about all the music that guys like him or like girls that are like that famous have made that they just have sitting around that if they released it at any time, they could probably make a quick mill off of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you reading
Yeah.
off that lyric to us, Kevin. I just want to leave the people with two things. The first name is that Takeoff's real name is Kershnick. And then the second thing would be make sure you guys listen, and thank you all for listening. So DK Radio 11 is on Twitter, and we're going to be on Anchor, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it. So also, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Russell Barlow.
Oh, yeah, shout out Russell Barlow.
Russ, I love you, man. If you made it to the end of this episode, I really appreciate you even more than I already did, which I didn't think was possible. So, Russ, I hope you're doing all right, and I think you're going to pop off this season.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Thank
For
you
me,
again.
hey, shout out to Heath Whalen. I feel like there's someone else I wanted to shout out. If I forget right now, definitely a big fuck you to my brother and sister for not following us back.
Yeah, that's crazy that you say that, because I was going to say I don't know what the opposite of a shout out is, but I'm doing that to Kevin's brother and sister. So
also shout out Adam Shearer, Pepe Sylvia. He's been giving us hell of love on Twitter. Yeah, I appreciate.
He's probably our best follower right now.
Stay liking our content. We love that.
Yeah, and then if you keep liking us and listening to us, we're gonna promote you. This isn't us. This isn't us just taking your likes.
Scratch
and
our
running
back,
away.
we'll scratch yours. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's perfect. So I think that's good. I mean, that's all I've got. So Kev, you want to send us off?
Thank you guys for listening. This has been episode 2 of Don't Know Radio. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll be back soon.
All right.